I gave Casey a kidney, yet she shoved me off the 5th-floor balcony for a diamond tennis bracelet. A psycho like you dares fight me for it? By some miracle I survived. Mom stood at my bedside, finger stabbing the air an inch from my nose. If you're going to die, do it cleanly, don't hang on just to disgust us. Dad spat on the floor, glaring. Talk about bad luck. I dropped my gaze and murmured an apology like a good girl. 3 months later, at the most ostentatious wedding Riverdale had ever seen, Dad stabbed Mom to death and Casey hacked Dad apart. I watched the blood crawl toward my shoes and slowly smiled. #1 The first time my future brother-in-law came to call, he brought me a diamond tennis bracelet out of politeness. Casey snatched it away, lips curled in scorn. Something from Adrian? You think you're worthy? Whenever Sophia decided to torment me, her eyes glittered like broken glass. I stared back, expressionless. She sniffed, shifted her attention to the box, and the next second an ear-splitting shriek tore through the room. A limited edition Cartier? Adrian gave this to you? Sophia's face contorted, her voice cracked into an uglier key. Adrian is my fiancé, you psycho, how dare you set your sights on him? Drop dead. A brutal shove slammed into my chest. No time to explain, I toppled over the railing. Weightlessness clutched my throat like a giant hand, drowning darkness closed over my head. Thick foliage below broke my fall and left me breathing. When I woke, Mom stood over me, finger stabbing again. The first time Alex visits you throw yourself at him, have you no shame? If you want to kill yourself, finish the job, don't lie here nauseating me. Dad hawked and spat, brows knit in disgust. You picked the worst possible moment to make trouble, damn jinx. Sophia hugged her elbows, gloating. Same old story. I dug my nails into my palms until pain brought me back to earth. Lowering my eyes, I apologized sweetly. I'm sorry, I was wrong, it won't happen again. My contrite act doused their rage. Victor snorted and stalked out. Lydia flung a few more curses and hurried after him. The room fell silent. Sophia stepped close, stroking my hair, bending until we were eye level. You know Mom and Dad only ever believe me. So don't ever make me unhappy again, got it? On the last word she yanked a fistful of hair so hard my scalp burned. She admired my grimace, then sauntered off, staccato heels fading down the corridor. I uncurled my fingers, blood blossomed across the sheets. Pathetic. A week later every tabloid splashed drunken photos of Sophia grinding against a nightclub stranger. The Sterlings withdrew from the engagement within the hour, and the scandal detonated across social media. Lydia raged at her daughter. I told you to stay out of the clubs, but no, now the Sterlings have pulled out. Who will marry you? Victor hurled his glass, shards exploded across the marble. I busted my ass to nail down that alliance, and you trash it overnight. That was a $300 million dowry, you useless brat. Sheltered Sophia cracked. She shot to her feet, shrieking. You think I wanted this? I was drunk, I don't remember anything. Instead of yelling, why aren't you fixing it with the Sterlings? Her clueless tantrum left Victor speechless, finger trembling in midair, while Lydia collapsed on the sofa, beating her chest. Afternoon sunlight streamed in, exposing every grotesque detail. I sipped tea in my room, watching the security feed, and smiled. The real show hadn't even started. #2, sorry to keep you waiting, Vance. A man's voice pulled me back. I slipped my phone into my pocket and greeted him with a practiced smile. Good to see you again, Sterling. I motioned for Alex to sit and cut to the chase. I asked you here because I have a proposition. Steam coiled between us like ghost white silk. Alex studied me through it. Your sister's reputation is roadkill and the Vance name is toxic. Why would I still take you instead of Casey Ann for the same $300 million price tag? That dowry was never about money, I said. The Sterlings want two things, the PTK cancer patents and a daughter-in-law powerless enough to keep you from challenging your stepmother for control of Sterling. Alex's stepmother had ruled the board since his father's stroke, she would never cede an inch. So, whether it's the Vances or any other fading family, you need a useless bride to neutralize you, I continued. Give me 1 year. I'll hand you Sterling's core management, and in return you play the devoted groom when required. After 12 months we divorce, I walk away penniless and I won't interfere with your true. I slid a cup of Longjing toward him. He narrowed his eyes. And how exactly will you deliver Sterling's throat to me? PTK inhibitor patents Alexander's life work. Whichever company owns them dictates the next decade of oncology. I have them. Silence. 3 heartbeats later he extended his hand. Deal. Dusk was falling when I left the club. Remembering Victor had friends over, I texted pleasantries in advance. Back home, Victor lounged in the living room. Dad, King just messaged that she's arriving early. A vase exploded against the wall beside me. Adrian is mine, bitch, how dare you poach him? Shards nicked my temple, blood beaded. Sophia snatched a crystal ashtray and hurled it. I sidestepped, it shattered on the parquet. I never came on to Sterling. Casey, you must be misunderstand? She fisted my collar. Then why did he demand you as his bride? Tears welled, fat and fast. I thought he was engaged to you. Why would he mention me? Still pretending. Enough, Victor barked. If you must hit her, take it elsewhere. Guests arrive soon, no theatrics. He mounted the stairs without a backward glance. Predictably, Sophia's eyes glittered harder. She swung with everything she had and I caught her wrist 1 inch from my cheek. Idiot, I whispered. Hashtag 3-inch, what do you think you're doing? Sophia yanked, my grip stayed iron, and panic cracked her voice. I savored the fear dawning in her eyes. Casey blames me for stealing your fiancé, but aren't you curious why you were really dumped? She froze, mid-breath. Pretty statue. The night the paparazzi caught you grinding, they also snapped Dad leaving a brothel, I said softly. Daddy dearest paid a troll farm to bury his own scandal by blasting your photos nationwide. Your engagement was sacrificed to save his face. Feel betrayed yet? Crimson flooded Sophia's eyes. No, impossible. Dad loves me, he'd never dash. And when Alex demanded me instead, did Dad hesitate? He'd practically bowed. I stepped closer, voice a silken stab. That 300 million dowry was Victor's last lifeline. You blew it, so now you're a defective asset, disposable. Each word punched air from her lungs. Sophia stumbled backward, collapsed, knees bruising on cold marble. I looked down at her, cool and aloof, and offered a bit of friendly advice. Casey, instead of wasting time sulking at me, why don't you figure out what you're going to do next? With that, I strolled toward the courtyard, humming a little tune, my expression perfectly relaxed. Kingstown car was gliding through the front gates. I lifted a bright smile and started a silent countdown. 3, 2, 1. Serena, I'm going to kill you. Sophia stormed after me exactly as I'd expected. She yanked my arm, spun me around, and slapped me so hard I hit the grass. Who the hell do you think you are, trying to steal what's mine? Dad looks down on me, so you honestly believe he'll ever see you? In your dreams. You're nothing but a bastard the Vance family scraped off the street. Let me make this crystal clear, Adrian is mine, the Vance empire is mine, everything is mine. You're just a nut job, and I'll keep you under my heel for the rest of your life. Fists rained down like hail. I shielded my head, secretly praying she'd keep talking. Sophia, what do you think you're doing? Victor's thunderous roar rattled the sky. She froze, finally noticing the crowd gathered at the gate, phones raised, whispering, snickering. Sophia scrambled up, flustered, babbling nonsense. I, the battered victim, conveniently fainted on cue. The farce fizzled out before it could bloom. The next morning footage of Sophia pummeling me flooded every platform. The Vance fake marriage scandal seized the front pages again. Victor smashed his laptop to bits and glowered at me. Dragging our dirty laundry in front of guests, feeling proud of yourself? As always, he dumped every ounce of blame on me. I knew bowing my head would earn a lighter punishment, but I was finished kneeling. I lifted my gaze and stared straight at him. Dad, Casey says I'm a bastard you picked up. What does that mean? Who gave you permission to talk back? His neck flushed crimson, he pivoted toward Sophia. And you? Bullying your sister is bad enough, but spewing garbage to her face? Beating sister in front of guests, turning this place into a circus, you think you can do whatever you want? None of this is my fault. She provoked me first. Sophia couldn't stomach injustice, she shrieked right back. Listen up, if your sister's engagement collapses because of you, I swear you'll regret the day you were born. Victor was so livid his words tangled. Lydia darted over to mediate. Oh, stop it. Avery only lashed out because she was upset. It wasn't intentional, no need to blow up. Exactly. Adrian dumped me and you didn't blink, yet Serena hasn't even been jilted and you're frantic. It's unfair. I'll wash your filthy mouth out. Victor raised his hand as if to strike. Instead of flinching, Sophia stepped into the blow. Go on, hit me, just try. Lydia flitted between them, pleading. The room descended into chaos. I watched the spectacle, a faint smile playing on my lips. Victor slapped down a paternity report and wrestled public opinion back on course. I unlocked my phone and tapped once. Almost instantly the narrative pivoted toward corporate image. Sophia went way too far, looked like she was trying to beat Serena to death. My heart broke for Serena. How can anyone punch their own sister like that? Total psycho. She let Casey corner sister and did nothing. What lousy parenting. Who'll buy from a family this toxic? Wasn't Vance caught pushing fake meds years back? Story vanished overnight. Maybe Serena isn't really related, otherwise why would Sophia be so savage? Definitely. Serena doesn't resemble any of them. Netizens batted theories back and forth until the truth was buried under rumor. As the chatter swelled, Vance's industry reputation nosedived. The shifting tide ignited Victor's temper all over again. When the moment felt ripe, I opened Alex's chat. Your turn. Partnership after partnership buckled under the reputational hit. Termination notices scrolled across news feeds in steady succession. I walked into Victor's study just as he hung up with Alex. 70% of the shares? He actually said that out loud. The sentence hung in midair, a few questions, and I pieced it together. Though the fake marriage rumor had died, the Sterlings, rattled by Sophia's violence, no longer trusted us. Her public assault had ground their face into the dirt. To secure my strategic value in the alliance and to flaunt the Vance's sincerity, I had to walk down the aisle as Vance's majority shareholder. Otherwise, no deal. In the past, Victor would have laughed him out of the room. Now, with the stock in free fall and contracts shredded, the firm's cash flow was bleeding out. Without the Sterling's backing, Vance would be bankrupt inside a year. Victor drilled daggers into me, every muscle laced with resentment. I dropped my gaze and studied the carpet like a docile child. I know everything here belongs to Casey. IV never dared dream otherwise. This is only a stopgap. If you don't trust me, draft an agreement. After I marry in and the dust settles, I'll return every one of those 70%. There's a time for principle and a time for survival. Dad, put the big picture first, placate the Sterlings now. The plea sounded reasonable, even Victor struggled to object. He glared in silence so long the air felt thick. Even Lydia, who normally coddled Sophia, kept quiet. I struck while the iron glowed. Several companies posted cancellation statements this morning. If you wish, I'll make a public clarification to win back some goodwill. Only I'll need Avery to cooperate. My usual blend of humility and compromise lulled them. Victor's shoulders visibly loosened. After an internal tug-of-war, Lydia muttered, "Don't try anything clever." They reached consensus, only Sophia flat-out refused. What? You want me to apologize to that fox in front of the world? She jabbed a finger at me, shouting at her parents. It's all her trap, you've all been played. She rattled off my crimes, but her spoiled bitch reputation drowned every word. Lydia cooed for her to calm down, she ignored it. Victor reasoned gently, she turned her back. From the rear of the room I curved my lips in a slow, meaningful smile. Sophia detonated. She lunged. Victor caught her mid-stride. Finally his patience combusted, he backhanded her. Enough. It was the first time in Sophia's pampered life that a palm had landed on her face. First scolding, first slap, first public apology, the string of firsts shattered the world she knew. She gaped at Victor, sparks of hatred lighting in her eyes. The loving daddy facade dissolved. His features contorted into the same monster I'd always faced. Thanks to you I lost 50 million in 3 damn days. You will hold that press conference apology, like it or not. Refuse, and you'll stay locked in your room until you crawl out begging. Anyone who coddles her answers to me. Sophia was grounded house arrest, 0 exceptions. Me? As the majority shareholder I crushed rumors of abuse, and with my fairy tale romance fueling headlines, Vance stock rebounded. Armed with executive access, I swiftly unearthed the company's crimes, falsified lab data, forged production logs, unapproved devices slipped onto assembly lines, hidden assets, shredded financials, bribed bureaucrats, paid thugs sent to silence victims line after line that curdled my stomach. I scrubbed every trace of my visit and walked back to the Vance mansion, head spinning. Victor, frantic to hurry the wedding, kept the house packed with guests day and night. I slipped past the glittering foyer to a forgotten corner of the back garden. Under tangled ivy a hidden door led to Victor's private vault, off-limits since childhood and the one place I had never breached. I pressed a prepared fingerprint to the scanner and exhaled. This time, nothing could go wrong. Stone grated, the door eased open and I darted inside. Minutes later I stepped out with a single folder. The pages were yellowed, speckled with decade-old blood that still looked obscene. I crushed the file in shaking hands, swallowing a sob. Footsteps rasped beyond the hedge. Victor. Panic sparked, there was nowhere to hide. The crunch of leather on gravel grew louder, each step a hammer against my ribs. Sweat slicked my palms. At the last heartbeat a pair of strong hands yanked me into the shadows. Before I could even make out who had stepped in, a cool kiss landed on my lips. One hand cupped my face while he twisted my file-holding arm behind my back. A towering shadow loomed over us. Victor appeared at the perfect moment. Adrian? Alex let go of me and angled his body so most of me was shielded. Uncle Victor. I tilted sideways just enough to let my smeared lipstick show, lowered my head, and played the picture of shy embarrassment. Victor caught on instantly. He laughed heartily, clearly delighted by how fast Adrian and I were moving. Wonderful, wonderful. You kids carry on with your sweet talk, I won't interrupt. Carry on, carry on. Victor vanished around the corner, and Adrian reverted to his usual Arctic calm. Your lipstick smudged. Go fix it before you head back. Adrian. I called as he started to walk away. Staring at his back, I bit my lip, then forced the question out. Why are you helping me? He turned. Eyes like bottomless pools pinned me in place, an invisible blade that stripped away every hiding spot. Only after a long stretch did he speak. Ashford was my mother's closest friend. 6 By the time Sophia's house arrest ended, I was still turning Adrian's words over in my mind. From everything I'd heard, Evelyn had been a stay-at-home wife, never linked to the late Sterling's boardroom battles. What had I missed? The longer I puzzled, the more dangerous the delay became. I had to accelerate. The moment she was released, Sophia became the perfect tool. Maybe the press conference defeat had really broken her. She avoided everyone and slipped up to the Riverdale roof alone. Yet when she saw me, she mustered her old hauteur. Serena, don't get cocky. Whatever you schemed, I'll snatch it back. I gave her a dazzling, sunny smile. Oh? But Casey, I don't think you'll ever get the chance. I'm now Vance's majority shareholder and the future Sterling. Image, reputation, everything you've lost. You're nothing but a rat in the street. What can Casey fight me with now? A slap? My open sneer accomplished its mission. Sophia's eyes flared. Remembering the last time, she swallowed the urge to swing at me. I laughed coldly and aimed for the tenderest spot. Dad just transferred every share you owned into my name so I can walk down the aisle without worries. Soon the Vance family and the Sterlings will all be mine. Mom knew every detail, yet she never spoke a single word for you. See? Everyone's abandoning you. Everything you once flaunted now belongs to me. Poor thing, you've been pathetic since the day you were born. All Sophia ever wanted was Victor's approval and to beat me. When those two desires collided, she exploded. Sure enough, the taunt barely left my lips before she lost it. With a demented shriek she lunged, hoping to shove me off the roof again. Serena, I'll kill you. I sidestepped and watched her stagger, laughing aloud. You never learn. Same murder method twice, no wonder Dad calls you trash. Ha ha ha. Serena. She charged again, screaming. Her hands clamped around my throat, pinning me against the railing. Half my body dangled above streaming traffic. Giddy with triumph, Sophia pressed harder. To destroy someone, first drive them mad. It never fails. Old trick, but it works. A light push, an adult drops like a kite with its string cut, silent as the grave. Autopsies can't prove a thing, and I walk away spotless perfect, isn't it? I had never heard this speech before. Almost in a trance, I released the panic button in my pocket and locked both hands around her wrists. You? How, cough, could you? Air starvation broke my words. Sophia's eyes blazed. My first kill was at 10 right beside you. Can't remember, can you? Right, you're sick in the head, a nut job. Ha ha ha. That woman begged me to save you. If only she knew she rescued a psycho. Oxygen drained from my brain, Sophia's voice thinned into a distant echo. Flickering images burst across my vision, merging with ragged gasps. At the last second Adrian hurled Sophia aside. I crumpled to the floor, coughing violently while clutching my throat. Victor burst in, struck Sophia across the face with a roar. Out of control. What the hell are you doing? 7 security pinned Sophia, but she still thrashed and screamed. Let go. I'll kill her, kill her. 2 6-foot guards could barely restrain her. Victor lost all patience. He snatched a watering can and dumped the icy contents over her head. Shut it. The bone-cold drenching finally snapped her back. At Victor's signal, the guards dragged the dazed Sophia away. Victor turned, his face a mask of awkward apology, but before he could speak, Adrian's glacial voice cut in. Uncle Victor, you owe me an explanation. He swept me into his arms and strode off. The counterfeit smile Victor had managed froze in place, grotesque. In the VIP ward, Adrian stared down at me, features carved from ice. Why take a risk like that? You almost died, do you realize? In 2 minutes he spoke more words than he had in our entire acquaintance. I didn't hear a single one. I yanked the panic button from my pocket and flung it at him. I'm not as stupid as you think. Now can you drop it? He swallowed, finally finding his voice. You still can't gamble with your life. I shut my eyes and blocked my ears, but Sophia's taunt kept ringing. I must have missed something. She was 10, I was 8. 8, no. I bolted upright, Adrian jumped. Something was wrong. I ripped the 4 from my hand and sprinted out, ignoring his shouts. Only one thing filled my head, the year I was 8. That was when I had donated a kidney to Sophia. I'd lain beside her while she murdered someone, yet I remembered nothing. Siecheng Hospital. Whatever happened had to be there. We hadn't been discharged, so it couldn't have been anywhere else. I drove straight to the director's office and cut to the chase. 16 years ago, a woman in her 40s died here. What can you tell me? The director adjusted his gold-rimmed spectacles, gaze opaque. Sorry, Vance. For the hospital's reputation, I'm not at liberty to say. She can't get answers. How about me? Adrian burst in, still catching his breath. He met my eyes, silently telling me to relax. My heart gave a squeeze. I turned, drilling the director with a stare. The man's eyelid twitched. In the end he escorted us to the records annex. The hospital's 20-year archives are here, find what you need yourselves. Adrian and I dug for 5 hours before one terse line surfaced. Evelyn, female, 48, accidental fall from height. Evelyn Alexander's wife. Adrian's fingers trembled around the folder, his dark eyes held pity and grief. I shook off his hand and tore out of the building, tires screaming toward the abandoned Ashford estate. Sophia had been locked in the punishment cellar, a subterranean dungeon bristling with restraints. Victor wielded a leather whip, lash after lash. Who told you to kill her? How many times have I said never mention that incident? And you dared bring it up in front of her who gave you the guts? Sophia shrieked, her earlier arrogance dissolved in tears. She crawled at Victor's feet, drenched and pathetic as a drowned rat. I was wrong, Dad, I won't do it again, never. Spare me, please, spare me. Streaked makeup turned her face into a ghoulish mask. Watching the security feed, I curled my lip. Victor was in full frenzy, begging only fed his lust for cruelty. Sophia still the same fool. Victor's eyes glittered, he tightened his grip on the whip, a warped grin spreading. She cringed into the corner, horror-struck. Dad, please, I'll be good, I won't make you angry again. Don't, I swear I won't. Dash. Crack after crack rang out until Sophia's sobs collapsed into wordless whimpers. Victor swung until his arms ached, then fisted her collar and snarled, Don't think I don't know you're the one who let that woman out. You told her where to find Serena, gave her the opening that almost ruined everything. I let it slide because you fixed it fast enough, but if Serena ever learns another thing from you, I'll make sure you taste exactly what she tasted back then. His words exploded like thunder in my ears. The shattered fragments finally clicked into one straight line. So she had been caged here too, she had been trapped in this very place. Choking, I dug my nails into the pen. Blood spurted, the sharp pain sliced the fog away. Gasping, I glared at the monitor, hatred scalding my eyes. Victor. The beating lasted half an hour. When Victor left, Sophia lay like a rag doll, more air leaving than entering. I slid the iron grill aside and crouched. Pitiful. Daddy was merciless for Casey's first real go, wasn't he? Maybe the thrashing warped her mind, she forced her swollen lids open and clutched my wrist. Save me please, save me. Save you? I laughed as if she'd delivered the world's best joke. Why on earth would I? Forgotten how Casey set me up so Dad would whip me? You stood there clapping. I remember how wide you smiled. Hope drained, despair glazed her eyes, and she simply shut them. Giving up so fast, how rare. I drank in her pain the way she once savored mine. Still, nothing's impossible. Tell me every detail of that year, and I'll have Daddy release you. I'll even restore you as the Vance princess. If you impress me, men, shares everything can be yours again. Why should I believe you? She rasped, staring hard. I smiled, petting her matted hair with mock pity. You know no one leaves this cell unscarred. Even if you doubt me, what exit do you have? You saw Daddy's face only, I can open the door. Vances cling to life above all, it's a contest of who can gamble more. You'd better keep your word, she whispered. Number 9, I stumbled from the punishment cellar like a ghost bled dry. Outside, sunlight blazed, 1,000 beams of glory, yet even 10,000-foot Buddha-light could not dissolve the grudge soaking my bones. The wedding was set for the first Tuesday of next month. Beside family and friends, I'd invited every major outlet. Under pressure, Victor freed Sophia early, exactly right, a family portrait needs every member. On the day, my makeup flawless, gown laced, Sophia arrived late, wounds still raw, every step a wince. I hooked my arm through Alex's and fluttered to her, beaming. Casey, Adrian, and I are thrilled you could come. You'll give us your blessing, won't you? The taunt landed, Sophia slapped my hand away. Get lost. I let the blow topple me backward. Alex caught me and barked, "Aunt Serena is my wife. Watch your mouth." Crew members whispered, stealing glances. I smiled up at Sophia, eyes glinting scorn. Color flooded her face, she opened her mouth to scream. Lydia sprang forward before disaster struck. "Happy day, are you insane? Apologize to your sister this instant." She spun to Alex, simpering. Avery's spoiled rotten childish temper. "Don't mind her, Mom," Sophia protested. She flung herself back. "I barely touched her." "Enough. I told you to get along. Now say sorry." Lydia's glare brooked no refusal. Sophia shook her head, stubborn. "No. She ruined me. Why should I kneel? She's a liar and you're all fools." "She isn't even dash smack." For the first time in memory, Lydia's hand landed on Sophia's cheek. Shock cracked Sophia's voice. "You hit me for her?" Lydia's fingers trembled, regret flashed, then hardened. "It's for your own good. If your father heard my father? You dare mention him?" Sophia laughed until tears ran. "He's already tossed us aside, me and you. He beds half of Riverdale and you still lick his shoes. How cheap." "Sophia." Lydia choked, color draining. The public slap Sophia had dreamed of delivering finally landed on Lydia's reputation. Her mouth opened and shut, then her eyes rolled back and she folded. "Mom." I rushed forward, stylists scattered. "Call a medic now." Chaos erupted. Sophia stood frozen, sudden terror widening her eyes. "Mom, please wake up." Her voice cracked. "Casey, it's her blood pressure meds. Dad keeps them. Run." I snapped the order. Sophia bolted like a frightened deer. I watched her stumble away, a cool smile rising. Number 10. She found Victor in the bridal lounge entertaining guests. She froze, his possessive hand rested on a voluptuous woman while a tall teen beside her called him, Dad. Victor beamed, patting the boy. "Bright kid ready to take the reins soon." Sophia's feet rooted, then she spun and drifted away, forgetting the vial she'd come for. Her lonely silhouette sank onto a bar stool. On the security feed I watched, nursing a slow smile. "Drink, little puppet, wash the truth down." The banquet rolled on. I carried Victor's custom cocktail, toasting with him among diamonds and tuxedos. When the hour struck, I signaled the usher. The pair were guided past Sophia's perch. Predictably, her gaze snagged and followed. The MC caught my cue. "Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the bride's sister, Sophia, to the stage." Applause cannonied, spotlights pinned her. A phalanx of hostesses swept her forward. Below, Victor flirted openly with the woman while Lydia watched, apparently clueless. Sophia's composure cracked. She seized the mic, voice trembling. "My daddy once loved me beyond reason. He'd pluck stars if I asked. Then one day the love just died. Tell me, Father, why? Why discard us? Why torture me?" Static shrieked with her sob, the mood curdled. Behind her the giant screen flickered silent footage of invoices, falsified trials, bribe transfers, every Vance sin. Gasps rippled, cameras flashed. No one noticed me slip the honed cake knife beside Victor's plate. He lurched up, dizzy, reaching for his phone, only to find blades and panic. Reporters swarmed, blocking escape. He staggered aisleward, roaring Sophia's name. Spotlights caught the glint of steel, the press recoiled. Sophia spotted the weapon and shattered. "You beat me, you'd murder me? I'm your own daughter." Her shriek stapled another felony to his name. He scrambled up the steps, half crawling, half stumbling, yelling, "Ungrateful little witch!" at the top of his lungs. Lydia sprinted after him, planting herself between Victor and Sophia. She shoved Victor back with both hands while trying to pry the cake knife from his fist. They wrestled in a tight, brutal circle grab, twist, snatch, slap. Schlick fabric tore metal. Lydia stared down at the white handle suddenly blooming from her silk bodice, then folded slowly to the carpet. "Dash!" Hot blood spattered across cheeks, jolting Victor out of his red haze. He looked at Lydia crumpled at his feet, at the sticky hilt still welded to his palm, and let go as though it burned. Screams rolled outward like surf, the ballroom disintegrated into stampeding panic. For the first time in his life Victor's face showed raw, animal terror. Then he saw me. I lifted my champagne flute in a lazy salute, letting the corners of my mouth rise. His eyes stretched wide, everything clicked. Too late. Behind him Sophia hoisted the long ceremonial cake knife overhead, demented, glittering. 1/23 crimson arced through crystal light, the brightest red of the entire wedding, identical to the sky the evening I turned 8. When Sophia finally exhausted herself, Victor lay motionless, eyes fixed on me. Guests had fled, the orchestra pit was empty. The only sound was her ragged breathing. She studied the body, then her dripping fingers, understanding crawling back like frost. She tore at her own hair and screamed as if trying to rip the memory out. Amid the wailing I laughed, couldn't help it. Ha ha ha, flood washing the Dragon King's temple family, biting family. Ha ha ha. Sophia spun, knife still in hand. She meant to rush me, but her gaze snagged on the giant projection screen behind my shoulder. One heartbeat to cognition detonated across her face. You used me. You made me kill Mom and Dad. Ah. I'll slaughter you. Just like every other tantrum she charged. I stepped aside, my white gown swept a perfect half-moon. The hem soaked up scarlet, blooming into an ombre masterpiece. I admired it, giggling. That's not murder, darling. It's retribution. You remember? She stammered, uncertainty flickering. I curved my lips, cold as chapel marble. Should thank you, really. If you hadn't shoved me off that balcony, I might never have remembered a thing. 16 years ago I wasn't Serena. My real name was Jamie, only daughter of Nobel hopeful oncologist Alexander and his wife Evelyn. Victor had been a mid-level VP in Father's lab. Father lived for research, his cache of cancer patents was worth empires. Victor wanted them. He partnered with Riverdale's underworld, bribed regulators, hounded Father until the man was hounded to death. I, an 8-year-old, witnessed the beating, slipped, and fell from the roof, memories wiped clean. Because my kidney matched precious Sophia, Victor carted me home and fed me the fairy tale that I was his long-lost child. While I slept 2 floors above, my mother was chained in the cellar beneath my bedroom. She escaped once only to be hurled off the staircase by Sophia while trying to save me. None of them thought I'd remember. For 16 years they slapped, kicked, starved, and locked me in that punishment cellar until my skin forgot what unbroken felt like. How could I not covet revenge? I prodded Sophia, day after day, until she broke exactly as planned so I could strip her of everything while she watched. I wanted them backstabbing, snarling, devouring one another. Rage ballooned behind my eyes. I scooped up Sophia's abandoned knife and walked toward her. This wedding is your family's mass funeral, Sophia. Die. Clack, steel struck bone. I froze. Alex, what the hell? Blood dripped, drop by drop. He stood between us, white gloves soaked crimson around the blade he'd caught barehanded. Don't let hate wreck you, Serena, he rasped. Move. I yanked the knife, his grip held fast. Blood sheeted down his wrist. Listen to me. He seized my shoulders. Law will punish her, don't stain yourself. What do you know? I slapped him, hysterical. Those 3 annihilated my family. My past, present, future ashes because of them. And you preach calm? He crushed me against him, repeating my name like a prayer. I clawed, bit, kicked. I already forgot you, Adrian. You've no right. Let go, Mom's blood is on them. We grappled, blind to the world until Sophia lurched up, knife raised. Both of you, hell. The blade carved down. Alex spun, shielding me. Steel slammed his back, he choked a mouthful of hot red onto my shoulder. I held, writhing to reach her, but he locked his arms, taking the second blow across his spine. Sirens finally spilled through the doors. Officers ripped Sophia away, cuffs snapping shut. Alex collapsed, pale as candle wax yet breathing. Accounts were settled, Vance declared bankruptcy, patents locked and Victor's hidden safe room reverted to me. Under my birth name Jamie, I relaunched Ashford. Adrian, through exclusive licensing deals, edged his mother out of Sterling once and for all. 3 months later Sophia escaped the death penalty, diagnosed criminally insane. I visited her glass booth. "Know why Victor turned on you?" I asked the vacant mask she wore. Drool slid down her chin, eyes floated. "He never left the house that day. I bought the paid troll farm." "Adrian's marriage to me?" "Scripted." "King the housekeeper?" "My hire." "The rooftop ambush?" Panic button planted in my pocket. "Mother-son imposters?" "Actors." Her pupils flickered, life behind the lunatic glaze. "Victor loved you. He murdered my father only to fund your transplant. Without you, he'd have stayed a common VP, blameless." "Oh, and wedding night?" "He mistook the cake knife for his phone when Lydia lunged. You all read it wrong." I tapped my phone. "She's malingering. Send the footage to the DA." Autumn carried Sophia to the death chamber. Witnesses said she kept muttering, "No. No," right up to the needle. When it was over I returned to the abandoned Ashford estate. Weeds strangled the veranda, ivy swallowed the laboratory wing. I stepped over the threshold and spoke to the quiet. "Dad, Mom, I am home."